Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Guns of Mike's collection. Today we're going to be going over a really cool one. Again, like we talked about on episode 3 with my first Mauser I got 9130. I was getting a lot of stuff from AIM surplus. My buddy and I, basically when we got back from our deployment in 2009 or 2010, we would sit around and drink wine coolers and beer and play Counter-Strike or Dave Defeat Source, and at the end of the night we would go shopping online. So we had an FFL that it was a friend of ours, and anyway, one night AIM surplus got these guys in, these Czechoslovakian Romanian contract Vz24 Mauser rifles. These are beautiful rifles. They were $199, and I think they would do a free shipping thing sometimes. They also had Romanian 8mm, that light ball stuff, the really dirty but really accurate and reliable stuff, on clips for $200 for a crate of 700 and whatever shipped. So one night I remember we were playing Counter-Strike that night, and we got a little bit shit-faced, and I was like, I'm doing it, and he's like, go for it. So I bought this and a crate of ammo. The ammo came to me, and the rifle went to my friend who's an FFL. I got this thing. This is the first Mauser rifle I ever purchased, and this was so cool. It's a Y prefix Romanian contract rifle. So these were all made in the late 1930s, it's probably 1938, and sent to Romania and used in the Second World War, refinished by the Soviets/Romanians after the war, and stored away in those nice green crates. So yeah, again, $200. I don't remember if I paid shipping or not, but whatever. It was still $200 for a nice rifle, basically brand new. And I fell in love with this thing. We got that ammo, went out there, and this is one of the smoothest Mauser bolts you'll ever find on a rifle. Look at that. Just beautiful, beautiful. Insanely accurate. Kicks like a mule. It's a carbine length, or it's a short rifle kind of length, or carbine length. Yeah, Mauser 98. So it does have some recoil. However, man, we shot this thing all day. We'd shoot it, and the one thing that I didn't like about this is, like on the 9130, the rear sight's it's exposed. You know it's metal. This thing, it looks like you're just grabbing wood. So I don't know how many times I did that after we shot the piss out of this thing and burned the shit out of the web of my hand. Oh God. It was more than once, and it was just like, why did I not just like learn this? So we basically, my buddy had an M44 carbine, he had a 9130, Swedish M96 Mauser, and a bunch of other shit. I had this, my Enfield, the 9130, and we just go out there with crates of ammo and just blast for hours, and we do this several days in a row, and just there was freedom seeds all over the ground in this pasture. And we would just shoot the piss out of it. Deputies would be driving by, and we'd just be like, hey, not doing anything wrong. There's not a firefight happening. It was that much fire. It was so much fun. God, we got really good at shooting rifles. That's where I kind of learned how to mess around and do that with the bolt, like I made a couple videos on, is we'd have competitions. We'd be like, all right, let's see how many targets, like bowling balls or some shit, we can hit. Just bam! And we just compete against each other. And he's a lefty, so he was shooting lefty, and still pretty good. Anyway, that's the memories I have. There's really, again, nothing special about most of my surplus guns. They're not rare. I just love them, and this is a solid rifle. This thing is so accurate, very solid. I've never hunted with it because I ended up hunting with the one that I'm going to be making a video on in the near future on this series. But yeah, it's definitely a sweet piece, and it's just still in fantastic shape. The bolt is silky smooth. The Vz24 is actually my favorite Mauser 98 variant, to be honest with you. If I had to pick one, I would choose this over the K98 just for the ergonomics and just the handling. I think it's just a better made Mauser carbine any day. The Czechoslovakians made fantastic weapons. They still do. They've been known for that. Very underrated. So I would honestly say that I like the Vz24 better than the K98 or the G98 or anything else. Like all those Persian 98-29 Mausers, Czechoslovakian. Or they got the equipment sent to them and they were made to Czechoslovakian specs. Most of them were made at Brno, and they were exported to Persia at that point. So some of the nicest Mauser 98 rifles in the world were made in Czechoslovakia. This is no exception, just the standard model. Really wish I would have grabbed a few more of these. I do have another one in the collection, but it's a little bit more rough. This is just beautiful. So yeah, 2010, this was $200, and then a crate of 760 rounds, I believe, on clips. Was the Romanian clips aren't the best, but if you put a little oil on them, they're okay. But yeah, so it's $400 total for a crate of ammo in this gun. Now these things are $500 minimum just for the rifle, and the ammo is really getting expensive too. So times change. Glad I got it on that, and glad I got to do a lot of trigger time on this thing. So I made several videos of this. I did the kind of the Mauser challenge where you do 40 rounds standing up at 50 yards. As fast as you can, as accurate as you can. That was several years ago. That was a fun competition. But I used this rifle. I chose to use this, and instead of the K98, just because it's easier to work this action. Anyway, that's about all I've got. I mean, it's just a beauty. I just love these things. They're so nice. I just wish, God, I wish those days were still around. It was so fun, just playing video games, getting shit faced, and buying guns online. It's so fun. Guns and ammo, military surplus stuff. And it was just so much fun, guys. I'm reminiscing. I say this in every video, but I really wish those days would come back. That would be very, very cool. Anyway, I guess I'll start wrapping this video up because I'm getting kind of nostalgic and really kind of depressed at the same time. But anyway, you guys can see, you know, the results of years of collecting and stuff. And it gets a little bit more crazy as this series goes on. I mean, here's the thing: is I've probably had, just as a collector, I've probably had, I don't know, 1,500 to 2,000 surplus guns come in and out of my possession throughout the past, you know, basically like really hard in the past 12 years. Trading, selling, buying, figuring out what you like and stuff. But that's back when you could do that. And it was so much more fun to be able to just trade and figure out what you like. That's how I figured out that I like the Vz24 better than the K98 or some other carbine, like a Turkish, short rifle or something like that. That's where I figured out this is my favorite 98 action carbine. So, because I was able to shoot all these other different ones from all over the world and stuff, and just, yeah, it was awesome. Anyway, I'll stop reminiscing, and I will wrap this video up. Let me know about some of your first military surplus firearm experiences, what you got, why, you know, how much you paid for it and all that stuff, just kind of like I'm doing. It's just so much fun. You remember a lot of your firsts, like I was saying in the other videos, and this is just a great thing. Let me know what you think about this rifle, if you like it a lot. If you own one or have shot one, let me know what you think about the Vz24 compared to the other variants. And then if you wanna support my work more than just liking this video and subscribing and sharing this video out, there is a link to my Patreon in the description, and also there's a join button that you can become a YouTube channel member. $5 a month or more on either method of support gets you into my Discord server, but Patreon gets you access to 4 exclusive podcasts a month about military surplus stuff that I do. That's really kind of cool. I get a lot more personal with stuff. You kind of learn about my business and stuff like that, my collecting habits, and then I go on rants, and then I talk about historical topics, education, and stuff like that, the history of camouflage and surplus and whatever, that kind of thing. Just stuff that I like to rant about in podcast form, so it's in long form more than these little clips. So that's an advantage if you want to become a supporter of my work there. You get cool exclusive podcasts every month. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll see you on the next episode of the Guns of Mike's Collection.